What kind of a mount are you looking for? A backyard pet your children can grow up with? Or a reliable trail animal to help you enjoy the high country? Do you love a reining spin or the intricate moves of the dressage arena? Do you long to be flying high on a jump course? Or does driving a Surrey with the fringe on top sound like your cup of tea? Whatever kind of equine companion you're looking for, you'll want one that will perform in a safe, obedient manner. The purpose of these programs is to help you understand mules and donkeys and learn how to handle and train them correctly. Now, we know that not everyone watching owns a mule. Some of you own horses. Well, there's something here for you too. You'll notice that these are simple, easy-to-follow lessons. They're designed to teach you a variety of correct training methods for horses as well as for mules and donkeys. The result? Whether his ears are long or short, you'll have a well-mannered, well-trained animal. This program features segments from an award-winning video series created for the equine industry by acclaimed trainer and educator Meredith Hodges. Because of this, you'll hear occasional references to the videos and also to the workbooks and field cards that are included with the video series. The field cards that come with the videos are a great training tool that can be taken right into the arena. We'll be sure to give you information on the complete training series later in the program. Now let's learn a little about Meredith Hodges and why so many people rely on her as their training consultant.
Meredith knows what she's talking about. For 20 years, she's been living and learning about these long-eared creatures.
I've been acquainted with Meredith's talents for many years, and she really can do what she says she can do.
She's learned a successful way to train long-ears to do anything she wants them to do. She's active in showing and training of the animals, and she knows exactly how to describe what it is that you need to do to correct a fault, to solve a problem if you have one with the mule.
That's true. She's accumulated a good deal of wide experience, which is a great help to people who need to know these things.
One of the greatest assets is to be able to call somebody and say, what can I do to be a better trainer, to be a better rider, to work with my animal better? And I can think of no one better to answer that question than Meredith.
Mules are wonderful animals. They're strong, intelligent, affectionate, with a great sense of humor, and what incredible athletes. But training a mule is different than training a horse. When you're training a mule, you have to take into consideration the donkey half as well as the horse half.
This week, we will be covering basic information about donkeys that will help you during your donkey imprinting, haltering, leading, and tying lessons. Though donkeys are innately affectionate animals, they still need to learn their ground manners to grow into safe and enjoyable adults.
Each week our program covers a different phase of management and training. No matter what kind of equine companion you're interested in, you'll find techniques that will help you reach your training goals and bond with your animal in the process. Just remember, the keys to success are patience, kindness, and understanding.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges. More and more people are finding out just how much fun it can be to own a donkey. In this program, we'll tell you all about donkey foals and how to train them. Donkeys are rather unique animals and have a slightly different manner of learning than do horses or mules. If you own a donkey or are thinking of purchasing one, you won't want to miss this program. But you must realize that we can't possibly show you everything there is to know to train your donkey. It would be wise to consult other sources and possibly even a professional trainer. If you'd like more details about what's being shown here, we'll provide information at the end of the show on how to order the books and videotapes that accompany this series. Let's get started. Donkeys are members of the ass family, Equus asinus. A male donkey is called a jack, and a female is called a jennet or jenny. The donkey has 62 chromosomes compared to the horse with 64 and the mule with 63. Donkeys range in size from less than 36 inches to as large as 16 hands, and they have shorter hairs on the mane and tail. Their hooves are smaller and deeper, and some of them don't have chestnuts. On the other hand, the donkey has much larger ears than a horse, and if you've ever heard a donkey bray, you know his voice is louder and more harsh. Donkeys are less likely to founder, and I don't know anyone who wouldn't say they were hardier and less subject to injury than a horse. Another interesting difference between horses and donkeys: genets carry their young for about 12 months compared to a horse's gestation period of 11 months. There is a great deal of variety with donkeys, just as there is with horses, but there is often a lot of mixing of breeds, especially in America. Therefore, donkeys are most commonly designated by their size. 36 inches or less is a miniature. 36 inches to 48 inches is a standard, with 48 inches to 55 inches being a large standard. Anything over 56 inches is a mammoth. Another huge difference between horses and donkeys: a horse can be mastered and controlled relatively easily. A donkey must be coerced and persuaded to obey, never forced. Donkeys and mules have been labeled stubborn for centuries, but it's really only an abundance of common sense and a strong desire for self-preservation. And yet, they have a natural attraction to humans, and when treated with patience, kindness, and understanding, they learn to trust and obey. If they are treated with pain and abuse, they are not likely to comply with your wishes. There might be a few differences in instinct and attitude, but there's very little difference in technique when training a horse and a donkey. The keys are patience, understanding, and a good reward system.
Like a foal of any breed, the donkey baby needs to begin his life with imprinting.
Imprinting is nothing more than getting the baby used to being around people. He's going to spend the rest of his life with human beings. As soon as possible, he needs to learn to get used to your touch, your voice, your smell, and especially your handling. Anyway, handling the foal the minute it's born is a wonderful way to bond with him, and it lays the foundation of trust for the training to follow. It certainly helps your baby learn how to interact with humans if his mother is easy to handle. A calm, well-mannered mother will help to produce a well-mannered foal. If your genet is not easy to handle, then she needs training before the foal is born. This will assure she will be safe and tractable. When imprinting your foal, think about the kind of adult you want him to be. The donkey foal is not much different from a human baby in its emotional needs. They both need attention, love, guidance, and praise to become loving, cooperative adults. Start your relationship by creating a positive attitude. Come at him with love, patience, kindness, and respect. In turn, ask that he respect you. Like all children, a young donkey doesn't know when he's playing too rough or doing something unacceptable like nipping or kicking. Then you must discipline him by a firm slap and by saying no in a firm voice. Biting warrants a slap on the side of the mouth, and kicking will get him a thump on the rump. Just don't forget to reward the good behavior. By establishing a system of rewarding the good and punishing the bad, he will quickly learn what is expected from him. Be consistent. Those little nips might be cute right now, but without correction, they will fast turn into an annoying, dangerous habit. It won't take long for him to learn to respect you, and along the way, you'll notice you're creating a long-lasting bond of friendship. Incidentally, it doesn't matter if your donkey is a young foal or an older animal. He needs imprint training. As you begin your donkey's training, make sure you include an equal measure of fun. As with any child, if you make learning fun, it comes more easily. Plus, you'll be cultivating his desire to please and to serve. By creating a fun, non-threatening atmosphere, you will also be encouraging his enthusiasm for learning. He will want to follow you everywhere because it's the best place to be. One of the keys to training a donkey is this: don't be in a hurry. If you expect too much too soon, he becomes overwhelmed, frustrated, confused, and won't learn. Keep thinking of your donkey as a human baby. You are establishing lifestyles and attitudes now. You are creating an atmosphere to give him a sense of security and trust in you so he can grow to be a secure and dependable adult. Compared to a horse, a donkey's response time is much slower, but his comprehension and memory retention is much greater. It might appear that your donkey is in deep thought for what seems to be an eternity. He's just digesting what he's been taught. Whether working with a donkey foal or an older animal,
Just remember to take it slowly, but be complete. Take all the steps in sequence and don't leave any step out. Feeding time is the perfect time to scratch and pet your donkey and get him used to being handled. You can do this without a halter. Soon he will learn he likes being with you. After you've handled your donkey a lot, then the next step will be fairly easy. Feeding time is also the perfect time to try on the halter for the first time. There's a safe and effective way to catch your foal, which is demonstrated in detail on tape 1. It's called a tail hold, and once you administer it, he will calm down very quickly. With the tail hold, you can back him into a wall so you can free your right hand and put on the halter. Leave the halter on a while, then take it off. Just remember to never leave the halter on your donkey without supervision. A halter can be very dangerous. When he is used to you putting the halter on and taking it off, you can teach him to be tied.
Do you know the best way to train your donkey to stand quietly while tied? Stay tuned for this important lesson.
Colorful Colorado, with its majestic Rocky Mountains and wide open spaces, also boasts the Loveland Long-Ears Museum and Sculpture Park at the Lucky 3 Ranch, home of some of the finest mules and donkeys in the world. This working ranch is just 40 miles north of Denver. World-renowned authority on mules and donkeys, Meredith Hodges, invites you and your family for an adventure in learning you won't want to miss. Come visit the Lucky 3 Ranch, meet Meredith, her champion mules and donkeys, and take in the beauty of her long-ears art for the experience of a lifetime.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch. I get a lot of letters and emails from people with training and behavior questions about their equines. So I'm going to take you back to the beginning with a series of training tips that work for all equines. Donkeys require a truly creative approach to their training. Unlike horses that can be mastered and controlled with relative ease, donkeys have a different attitude toward life, so force won't work with them. To get positive results, you must persuade your donkey. Another important training difference between horses and donkeys is the time it takes your donkey to process what he is learning. It may seem like an eternity between the time you ask your donkey to do something and the time he finally complies. Don't worry, he's not being slow and he's not being stubborn. What you are witnessing is your donkey's amazing sense of self-preservation. And you can be sure he will not proceed until he understands what he is doing and he knows he will be safe. Just remember to take it slow, be respectful, and above all, be patient. And don't forget a good reward system.
Here's an engineer. How did you know that? So we go see a huge mule. Because this head, too fine. Struck with the head. That's all you gotta do. Okay, come on, boys. Let's go. Come on.
Every owner knows that a well taken care of equine is a happy equine. More and more, a technique being used to enhance our animals' overall conditioning is equine massage.
What you have to realize is you're training an animal in their muscle tissue, and their muscle tissue has to be able to perform the task that you're asking the animal to perform. If you're having a hard time doing the advanced things, you need to go back to the beginning. The massage helps break the pattern of the neurons that fire to that muscle, that tell it to contract, to contract, to contract.
With proper instruction, just about anyone can learn to give their equine the benefit of basic massage.
I've been working on equines for a long time, and a lot of people look at you and hope that you can just come out and make an animal better. And you can't do that. It takes two pieces, the massage as well as the exercise. And the exercise is actually more important than the massage. And that's something that people really have to understand. And Meredith's tapes do that. And a lot of people don't want to take that long a time frame. They just want to do their 60 days, get on the animal and ride them. But that's not really where you can go with their backs.
For more intensive therapeutic massage, be sure to consult a professional. Equine massage not only enhances your animal's health and overall condition, it's also a deeply personal and rewarding bonding experience for both of you.
Many of you who love your horses also love your dogs. This type of massage can be beneficial for all your pets. If you want to improve your animal's quality of life, I can help. I can either teach you how to do it, or I can massage your dogs for you. Contact me at dogmassage.com.
Hi, I'm Meredith Hodges, and welcome to the Lucky 3 Ranch. I get a lot of letters and emails from people with training and behavior questions about their equines, so I'm going to take you back to the beginning with a series of training tips that work for all equines. Whether you have a foal, yearling, or adult equine, imprinting is a fundamental activity that determines your equine's behavior and will stay with him for as long as he lives. Imprinting is more than just getting your foal used to being touched when he is first born. It is the process of getting him used to your touch, your voice, your smell, and especially how you're going to handle him throughout his entire life. Imprinting is also critical to the safety of your animal and anyone handling him, including you, your veterinarian, judges, and anyone else who may come in contact with your equine. While using your voice to soothe and reassure him, gently touch your animal all over. Start with his head, paying special attention to his ears, mouth, and around the eyes. Then move down his neck and over his body and down his legs. The slow and gentle touching and stroking with your hands will reveal which parts of his body are most sensitive, teaching you where you can apply more pressure and where you need to lighten up. When you learn how he likes to be touched, he learns that your touch is a pleasurable experience. Imprinting lays an important foundation of trust for the training that will follow. It helps your equine make the transition into the grooming process, and it is an ongoing, lifelong way of keeping your equine comfortable with you. When done correctly, imprinting will yield amazingly positive results during training.
Artwork inspired by mules and donkeys is quickly gaining popularity. Tennessee mule artist Bonnie Shields has the uncanny ability to capture the fun-loving nature of these free-spirited animals.
They were like a horse, but they weren't like a horse. They had a little different body. They used their body a different way. They certainly had a different mental attitude. So they started intriguing me as an artist, and I kept finding the differences between them and the horse, both physically and in their reaction to things. So that started my love affair with the mule. When you deal with the mule, you're not always in charge. So it takes a little bit of a different kind of personality to appreciate the mule and to work with her.
She was the only artist that could really capture the essence of mules and donkeys. The mules and donkeys are really good teachers and teachers of life lessons. And Bonnie has just been an inspiration to me ever since. Wow, how'd it do?
Whoa. I know that all through the years, Meredith gives tours to the ranch. But what a wonderful addition to this whole ranch would be a sculpture park just for the mules and the donkeys. So I just thought it was an awesome idea. And then she let me be part of it. It's a wonderful thing. And when you come to visit the Lucky Three, it's just an added bonus.
Mule people, you reckon I can get Meredith to make a tape on how to teach your mule to shovel snow? I sure gonna try. Wish me luck.
Just a wonderful human being, and working with her is always humorous. She is just funny as the day is long, and so I thought that she would be absolutely perfect as the illustrator for the Jasper series that I wanted to do.
The Daydreamers was inspired by a thing that I saw years ago. I heard about this family up in Kentucky. They'd been working tobacco out in the field with their mules. And one of the boys, he was laying across this mule's back, laying in the shade. They'd been working, and he was resting on the back of his mule in the shade. That just kind of stuck with me, and I thought, gee, a kid like that, you know, he thinks he's stuck on the farm. He thinks he's stuck doing all this terrible old work, and he's laying up there and he's daydreaming about getting away from it all. So that's where Daydreamer came from. Sculpture's not the only thing I do. Matter of fact, I got into sculpture maybe a little later in my career. Mostly, I was known for my pencil drawings and my acrylic paintings for many, many years.
Long ears art. It may be whimsical, like a cartoon, or it may simply be breathtaking. Long ears are taking their place in the world of art, and it's the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
This method of training outlined in tape number 1 works well for donkey youngsters or adults. When your donkey is ready to learn about being tied, make sure you are in an enclosed arena or pen. Put on the halter and attach a thick cotton lead rope. Tie him to a stout safe post with a safety knot. The first tie lesson should only last about a half an hour. Your donkey will probably figure out very quickly that he is meant to stay calm and be tied. Once he understands this lesson, you can teach him to come by using the methods from tape number 1. The biggest difference between training a mule to follow and training your donkey is that the moment he follows for a few steps, feed him and praise him a lot. Stroke him on the neck and shoulder, on the pole. Scratch his chest or rump so he knows he's doing good. Then try a few more steps. Don't ask for any more steps each day than he is willing to give. Now, isn't this easy? You don't have to jerk or pull. You don't have to hit his rump. You just have to work with him and reward him when he does what you want. Get in the habit of telling your donkey what you want. When you walk, ask him to walk. When you stop, ask him to whoa. Before you know it, you're ready to go exploring. Up to this point, you've kept your donkey in a confined area like a corral or paddock. When he leads fairly well, you can start taking walks around the farm. It's your chance to teach him to trust your judgment as you introduce him to things he might find frightening. Lead him as close as he will go at your shoulder. Step toward the obstacle as close as the lead will allow. Coax him to you. A reward might be necessary to entice him to investigate, and for sure a reward will boost his confidence when he shows his bravery and obedience. When he's confident about investigating familiar surroundings with you, it's time to take him to the obstacle course.
And
An obstacle course is constructed of safe, solid objects to teach your animal to negotiate the same kinds of things he would find on a trail.
You can start with logs spaced about a foot apart, a bridge, tires placed closely together, or any number of creative combinations. Just make sure your donkey will be safe. Let him have plenty of time to investigate each obstacle. Encourage him to come forward and praise him when he touches the obstacle with his nose. Teach him to trust your judgment. If he's really hesitant, just take a reliable friend along to show him everything is all right. At first, your donkey may be reluctant to pick up his feet to go over the object. In fact, he'll probably try to go around it any way he can. Just stand close to his head, hold him on a short lead, and ask him to come. If he moves even just 1 foot over the object, stop, hold him there, and give him a reward for his effort. Next, ask for the other foot. Next, he may just walk right over the object, and that's terrific, so reward him again. If he's still a bit reluctant, be satisfied to move just 1 foot at a time. Go slow and reward his good behavior. Be sure to use your verbal commands, come and whoa, in a strong manner. After all, you're establishing verbal communications that you will use over his lifetime. As you move from one obstacle to the next, approach, cue, and reward in the same way each time. You might notice something interesting. For some reason, donkeys like to get crooked over obstacles. One way to correct this is to stand directly in front of him, grasp his halter on both sides, and control his body position as he negotiates the obstacle. This is perhaps the only time when you will violate the safety zone directly in front of your donkey, so be very careful and be ready to move to the side if he comes forward too quickly.
The trailer is just another obstacle, so approach it as you would any new obstacle.
You can use a lunge line as a backup snub line if he's a little bulky, but don't get into a pulling match. The donkey will win. Just take your time and give your donkey time to think about what you are asking. If he is generously rewarded for his good behavior, it shouldn't take long for him to comply.
Did you know that the learning patterns of donkeys are different from other equines? In the next segment, we'll highlight some of those differences. You can have some fun teaching your donkey to do a little showmanship.
If you decide to hit a halter class at the county fair, great. But even if you never get out of your backyard, it's important that he learn how to lead properly. Plus, these lessons are the basis for more advanced training later on. Make sure he's in showmanship training every time you lead him anywhere. Hold your lead rope in your left hand, crossing it in front of your body. Keep your right hand free and straight out in front of you. The idea is for him to learn to walk and trot with slack in the lead rope and to follow your shoulder. If he gets too close, you can use your right hand to push him back into position. If he goes too quickly, you can always use both hands to control him. Once you have begun showmanship training, it's best to always lead him this way. The walk from the pasture to the barn is a good place to start. Facing forward, extend your arm forward and say, "Walk on." Your donkey should move forward quickly and freely. If he doesn't, try slowing your pace to his until he easily comes along. Your goal is for him to move along with you at a speed equal to yours, with his shoulder next to yours at a walk. It won't take him long to understand he is to match your pace. Once he has learned to walk on, he must learn to stop correctly. That is, to stand squarely on all 4 feet each time he stops. By stopping square, he is learning to carry his body in a balanced fashion. To teach him to set up, walk him into position and tell him to whoa. Make sure you stay out of the danger zone and pivot around to face his shoulder. Tell him to set. If he isn't standing squarely, show him what you want by touching his shoulder or moving the lead shank to adjust his hind legs. Next, he must learn to trot beside you. Give the verbal command, trot, and slowly move out, keeping to a very slow pace. I don't recommend using a lunge whip to reinforce your cue to trot, but rather find something toward which he wants to trot. Maybe, for instance, a bucket of oats held by your assistant. Or you can try enticing him with a treat in the palm of your extended right hand. If this doesn't work, you can have your assistant follow behind with a driving whip to gently reinforce your cues as needed. Reward him as always when he responds. Above all, be patient and don't get discouraged. Remember, this is one smart fellow, and he has to think this all out. If he isn't getting the idea, go back to something he already knows and does well and begin again the next day. Eventually, he will get it. Your goal at this point in his training is to make sure that he has a solid basic foundation in place. This means you can put on his halter and lead. He stands quietly while you brush him and clean his feet. He follows you willingly around and over obstacles. He loads into a trailer, and he knows the basic maneuvers and showmanship. As you prepare for this next phase of training, be ready to spend many, many hours working on basic moves. Don't be disheartened if progress seems slow. Believe me, it's worth the effort. Remember that a donkey has to see a purpose for learning. You must also persuade your donkey to do what you want. You cannot force him. Talk to him a lot. Give him plenty of reward for his good behavior and discipline him gently for bad. Your goal is resistance-free training.
Donkeys can be trained to do just about anything. But how do you know what your donkey is best suited to do? In the next segment, I'll demonstrate how to assess your donkey's athletic potential and temperament. If you're purchasing a donkey or just beginning training, it's good to know what your donkey is physically and mentally able to accomplish.
Having problems? Need an accessible trainer? Whether you're just a weekend trail rider or showing, the principles of training are the same. You want a safe and reliable equine companion. Produced by Meredith Hodges, Training Mules and Donkeys, a logical approach to long ears, will help you build a good working relationship with your animal. Meredith reveals the secrets of successful maintenance and resistance-free training that can be implemented by anyone, resulting in a satisfying partnership between you and your equine. Meredith answers your training questions promptly via mail or phone. Her books are great general resources and her videos are detailed, outlining the day-to-day exercises needed to produce a versatile and dependable equine companion. Meredith's techniques work with all equines. Do you have children, grandchildren? Check out Jasper, the story of a mule. For more information, check out our website at www.lucky3ranch.com or call 1-800-816-7566.
Mules are working their way into the hearts of people everywhere. If you'd like to know more about these wonderful long-eared animals, you can contact us at 1-800-816-7566 or get on our website at lucky3ranch.com.
Dusty old quilt hung crooked on a couch in an old stone house by a lazy river. Songbirds singing to me like slow ride